Hey there. Hello again. Um, Today I want to talk a little bit about family history. That's fun, right? Most of us have a probably pretty not so great family history, the severity of which differs greatly between individual. But obviously the actual events of what happened, unique people's family history isn't necessarily a reflection of how it actually damaged or hurt them or whatever you want to call it. Uh, Kind of force the psyche into a certain corner. In my case, the schizoid corner. And I thought it might be relatable and interesting for me to do a actual like complete breakdown of my family history. Since I've kind of talked about it like little bits and pieces in different streams and different older rambles and stuff. So I think this would be good. Give it like a full breakdown. Not a happy subject, but whatever. Whatever needs to be done. I'm going to be going through memories, which are scattered and not very good as far as like recollection wise. But what I do recollect is pretty powerful. So I guess I can start from my earliest memory up until whatever in my teenage years or something. My 20s, I'd say my 20s, maybe. We'll see. We'll see where we take this. Okay, so earliest memory. It's rough. Okay. I'm trying to think of a memory that isn't video games. That's really difficult. Just jumped out of the shower. Here's fucking. Um, it's really difficult. Memory that isn't something me doing that was a distraction. Even my earliest ones are, it's all they are, so it's very, very difficult for me to pinpoint. Okay. Well, maybe I can describe it like in third person, what I know. I grew up in a lower, I guess, lower class sort of household, small apartment. Initially, I remember that I lived in this apartment or in a home or something that was pretty small, and it was just me and my mother and my father. My earliest memories, oddly, like I said, it's all video games, are playing on Atari 2600. Um, in like 1986, probably, or 87. When I was 3 years old or 4. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just fiddling with it. I know it was Pac-Man or Mrs. Pac-Man. I know by then the Nintendo had come out, but my parents couldn't afford that, so it got me an Atari, I think, to entertain me. And by then they were a lot cheaper since the Nintendo was kind of overtaking everything. So I remember I used to play with my joystick. I used to play this really weird game with like a kangaroo and boxing gloves. I don't remember too much about what it was about. I think I know what the cover looks like, though. A good memory of the kangaroo image. Um. Anyway, so we lived there for a while. Know that. Then I remember across the street there used to be this supermarket or nearby called Super A Groceries, and I also remember that I can't remember the city we lived in. I think it was. I can't remember. It's in LA. It's not a great part. Huntington Park? No. I don't know. All I know is that there was also a mall nearby that we used to go when I was a real smaller kid. It's called Stonewood Mall. That's where we go, Stonewood Mall. And all the other memories I have when I was still living there as a kid. Well, I have a few, but I remember the Stonewood Mall. I also remember we had upstairs neighbors. So it was like a building with like 2 stories, and we lived on the bottom story. The bottom had like 2 apartments. The top had like 2 as well. I think I would play with there was also a family that lived up front. I think I played with the kids in that family. And we would, I'd go over and play Sega Genesis with them. I think when I got a little bit older. That was probably when I was like, oh, that was already when we moved to, I see my memories are getting mixed up. No, because that was once we moved to a different city. I'm a California, LA person, so it's happening. It's just a jumble. It's so crazy. I wonder how many of you feel the same way about your memories. Like, I can recollect all the video games and books I read, but I can't recollect any kind of like normal sort of memories throughout my past without like an extreme amount of effort, mental strain attempting to do so. So yeah, it was the place where the mall was, and we lived there for a while, and then we moved to a different city. And then I remember, okay, I'm starting to remember. I think by then, I think the school that I went to before we moved, though, was called, the school I ended up going to was called Lincoln Elementary. But I can't remember the previous school. I remember, though, during those school years, even then, I was kind of a weird little outcast, got in trouble a lot for talking, things like that. I know that my mother used to spank me with a belt. She used to hit me with a belt. I was little. I remember that, I don't remember much about my father. He was usually not home because he was working. But even when he got home, I don't really remember much. I know they argued a lot. And this was before my sister was born, or around the time she was. She was so little, I don't have any memories of her when she was a baby. I kind of remember what it was like to be like, when she was like a toddler and I was a little older. I have no memories of that. That's like gone. I remember though that anytime I got in trouble with school, and usually I would get in trouble at school for talking too much. Like I said, I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was little. This is a hyper or whatever. Talking, voice, yammering. And I get in trouble all the time because I was that little kid that was like, oh, he's a bright child, but he doesn't pay attention. He's always talking and joking around, doing whatever he wants. But I remember every time I would get in trouble for that, I would get home. I would get the belt to the ass. And I remember that the only reason the belt, and the spanking and stuff stopped was because one time, I don't know what exactly age I did this, but one time I had gotten home and I like pulled my pants down and said, okay, well, it's time for belt. And I had grown so numb to it, I guess so used to it, that, I don't know, I guess it really bothered my mother, and she decided, okay, no, I'm not doing that anymore. So that's when that stopped. That's when, like, the corporal sort of punishment style stopped. Oh man, I skipped over, the reason we moved there, I was like, I think I was going to elementary, so I was, like, when we moved there, I started to go, I think it was in 3rd grade by the time we moved there. But the reason we moved there was because in the previous household that I have like very few memories of, that's when I got diddled by the neighbor. But that's a whole different topic. And yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason my mother thought it was a good idea for me to be hanging out with like a teenage kid when I was a little kid. I don't know. Maybe I was too much to handle, so that was easier because I'd be out of the house. But in any case, yeah, that's when that happened, and when all that stuff happened, all the problems that came with that, which I've discussed before. And that's when a lot of the schizoid stuff really set in for sure. And they got concretized after that, probably during elementary school because of the bullying and everything. Yeah, that's why we had moved. I do remember that. And I think my parents blamed each other for what happened back and forth. I have no idea how that affected the marriage. Poorly, I'm guessing. Considering it wasn't, like, the best to begin with. Anyway, once I was going to Lincoln Elementary, I went there for a few years. I remember we had a teacher that got in trouble in that class because he smashed some kid's fingers between 2 desks because the kid was being crazy. And I remember that was like a whole thing. Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're talking family history, so this is kind of weird because I can't remember anything outside of, say, like the bullying and the cool teacher I did have. I had a cool teacher. His name was Mr. McGonagall. I liked him. He was like my 4th grade teacher, I think. But what made it funny is that he didn't want to teach anything half the time except for art. And so, like, half the time we were doing art. Which is pretty funny. I mean, I wasn't complaining. But I remember he got shit for that, like, later on, I think. At the school. I don't remember. I don't remember any friends either. I have vague recollections of random kids. Now I don't know. Like, far off distant names that I'm unsure of. Yeah, I can't quite. I do remember, though, that my first friend, his name was Arthur. And no, not that Arthur. But I remember that was my first friend's name. I don't remember anything about them. You know, the kid that I would hang out with during recess or whatever. Probably to talk about video games and stuff. Yeah, no recollection whatsoever of my family stuff during that time. I know at some point during that time, well, no, because then after that I went to Dexter Junior High. This is harder than I thought it would be. It's crazy, man. Like, I thought I would be able to recollect something. That's why I wanted to do it just unedited, fresh. But all I can remember is the stuff that would happen in school. But that's, like, not family history. That's something else. It's, like, personal history of, like, I don't know, mockery and bullying and shit. Which I could talk about another time. But I'm trying to do family history. Man, this is crazy. I just realized, too, I mean, when you're schizoid, like, you don't really pay attention to anything external, so if you're not paying attention to any of it, then all your memories are internal. And all my internal memories have to do with anything but family. Wild. I know my dad's had the same job for, like, since my entire life. Been working in the same place. He's never actually got a different job ever. I don't have any memories of hanging out with my sister. I do have some vague flashbacks of, like, I used to do this thing with, like, where I would put, like, my legs up on my arm. I would, like, hold my sister by her hands. And then I would put my legs on her tummy, like, and we do, like, an airplane thing. Like, where I would hold her up. I remember I did that, I think, when I was a lot younger and she was small. I remember that being fun. My sister tells me that I used to put her. She's like claustrophobic now because of me, which I feel kind of shitty about. But that I used to put like a laundry basket or a cardboard box on her, and I would like sit on it, and she'd be like, "Let me out," and I thought it was fun. So bad. Um, I remember having any pets really, anything like that. Hmm. Yeah, it's so fucking wild. Do you guys have that same trouble? Like you can't remember your because everything was internalized. Like you can't quite remember what it is that was occurring around you. Yeah, like I can give you loads of like random memories about when I was a kid in like elementary school, junior high, like stuff that happened. I have stories about that, but I don't think it is difficult. Thought like stuff would come to me because normally that's how it is. Like I just have to kind of stream of consciousness and I'll kind of remember stuff, and then I can speak on it. But this is like an incredibly difficult task. Okay. Yeah, I got nothing. I mean, because I was in junior high for a few years, stuff happened there. I don't remember anything that happened at home. I don't remember what I did because basically most of my, I guess my family history would be I got home, I played video games all fucking day because my parents just let me. And I'm not talking like, oh, when I was a teenager. I'm talking like from elementary school and up. That's all I really did. And then I'd read some books because my mom was really into reading. She said reading is good, so I would read books and comic books. I remember she'd occasionally buy me a comic book. I like Spider-Man comics. In the 90s, yeah, early 90s, Spider-Man comics. I was like, what, 10 years old, 12 years old. And I liked my comics. And she would get them from 7-Eleven, or I forgot where, on occasion. She had to do some other shopping. And though we didn't have a lot of money, like they didn't have too many issues. Like every week or so, at least once a week, I would rent a new game from the local video store, so I could get like a cartridge for my Super Nintendo or my Sega Genesis. And then I would play something new that week. And if I wanted to keep playing that game, then I would tell them we could rent it, and I would keep it for like another week or so. That was kind of like this thing. Like that's all I really look forward to, I would say. My childhood. Like most people have like memories of like, oh, we went here and we did this and we this and that and blah blah blah, but no, nothing like that. I know we went to Disneyland, and I'm pretty sure we went on trips to places. I know at one point we went to Costa Rica where my family was from, like both my parents. I guess ethnic wise, well, that's what I am, Costa Rican. Um, I don't remember much about that place except when we did go on that trip. There was a really weird park we went to and had this like haunted castle thing that was like kind of gimmicky, but I guess it was just like a really old tower or something. It belonged to maybe, I don't know, previous colonies or something. I have no idea. I remember I liked going to museums there. I remember I did like going to museums. Okay, there's a memory. Parents used to take me to the Natural History Museum, and that was like really really cool. I liked going there. I remember that. I remember dinosaurs, and I was mostly interested in like the gems and archaeology stuff, and the geology stuff. That stuff was cool. I mean, I like those ones because they're really dark, and they had like these like stands where like they would make the gems like light up. You could walk around in the dark and see all these like glowing gems and stuff. It was pretty cool. Rocks and minerals, what have you. Later on they had built that science center or whatever. I remember I really liked that one because it had all kinds of fun things like earthquake simulators and other stuff. And that was like one of my favorite places to go. I liked going there. I do remember having a few good times going to Universal Studios with my family. I don't remember what things I liked there, but I do remember that I liked the Backdraft show because it would get really hot and it looked like explosions and fire and it looked crazy. I thought, oh, that's cool. And then I liked going to the studio soundboard. They used to have like this show, you make a show where they would do like Harry and the Hendersons or something silly like that. But they also did like Alfred Hitchcock, like old effects stuff, and that was really fun. So they could get like a guest in the audience, and they would make them go through like some effect, like it looked like they were falling off a building or something, like a green screen type thing. That was kind of neat. And they used to have this like Beetlejuice, like rock world show. It was alright. That's what I mean. Like my family history, like I can't even give you one. Damn. Like all I can do is like think about the stuff that I thought was neat, and I kind of recollect. Then I guess I absorbed slightly internally, but I can't. I don't know what any of these people were doing during this whole time. I have no memories of what these people were doing. Outside at one point, I think my parents separated, and then I almost started, I think, dating somebody, and they would come over. I think that was happening. I remember something like that. And I'm pretty sure it bothered me severely because I remember having a lot of nightmares and strange happenings during that period of my life. A lot of anxiety as a child. Stress. Lots of stress. I don't even remember exactly what caused the stress. Maybe it's blocked out or something. I don't think it can. But I'm guessing it had to do with, like, my parents fighting, getting diddled, parents fighting because of that, moving, money problems, all kinds of stuff, probably. Stuff I don't recollect at all. And that's especially hard because it's not like I can really, like my mother, she kind of lives in, she has like a fictitious sort of view of the past that's kind of rose tinted. So I couldn't even ask her and get any details that I could probably verify or anything like that. My father's just a completely different story. I don't even get into it. So, and then my sister, I'm sure she remembers stuff better than I do. She probably has more vivid memories. But I'm not exactly sure how I can approach all that. It's so odd, right? Like here I thought I was just going to sit down and maybe like just talking about it or doing it on a stream and help me remember. This is how I work usually. I ramble, like things start popping in my head. And so I thought, okay, if I put myself in that mode, something's going to come. Nothing. And I don't think it's so much like, oh no, it's just nothing but repressed memories of trauma or anything like that, because, you know, I'm sure there's some of that. But I think what it is that I was so internal. I was constantly inside myself, inside my mind, that I probably didn't record any events that were occurring outside of me. I mean, is that even the thing? I'm guessing. Sorry, it's still like humid. And like I said, I just got out of the shower. But like, yeah, maybe I just don't have any recollections to actually access. Because I mean, not even like really innocuous shit. Like I can't remember. All I remember is, yes, I would get home, I would play video games, I would do my schoolwork, probably the next morning, because I didn't want to do it the day before, and I would lie to my parents and say I did it. Then I would do the schoolwork the next day in the morning. But outside of that, no, I don't have any. I can't tell you. I got nothing. This sucks. This is not going to make for a very good recording. My apologies, guys. I'm recording for 25 minutes almost now, and I haven't given you much. It's not because I don't want to give it to you. I'm like completely open. That's the point, right? But I have nothing to give you. Maybe we should talk about that. How many of you How many of you have nothing to give when it comes to like family history memories or things that happen to your family? Not even on like I don't even know on a very like cat like I can't even tell you like a family history of like these are the events that occurred, even though I don't have any vivid memories of them. Like these are like the order of the events. I can't even do that. I was just so shut off from my external world that I don't even. I can't. I don't even know who I was back then. Barely know who I am now. So if you do have the same issue, please comment in the server on the stream chat channel, or put something in the comments for me to kind of review or check out later. Maybe I would need like hypnosis or something. Like I feel like if I did hypnosis, like, you know, to try to do like memory regression or something, I would just end up like remembering like the video games and stuff anyway. Like I maybe there's just nothing recorded there. That's wild to think about. It's probably better that way. Or maybe not. I don't know. I mean, it explains why I'm so emotionally detached from my blood family. Like, I don't really feel very close to them. I probably have developed somewhat of a relationship with some of them, like only as adults. But I don't have like a nostalgia when it comes to growing up. Nothing of the sort. I'm guessing many of you feel the same. This sucks. What a shitty video. I failed you. I have failed you. I have failed you on this day. But I'm going to upload my failure, because I guess that in and of itself is probably significant in some regard. Okay, well, maybe next time I can, or another time I can do a video where I can talk about like the bullying and the shit that I went through as a child and how I overcame a lot of that stuff when I got older. Like, stopped getting bullied because I became the weird, creepy guy at school instead of the kid you bullied. Yeah, I think that's what I might do next time if I'm going to talk about like my own history and stuff, because I got nothing else for this one. That's pretty fucked up. Anyway, peace.